Welcome to Health Me, a weekly series that's normally hosted by Julio Hall of Essentially Alkaline, but today we're flipping the script. Hi, I'm Michelle's Mcdonald of Authentically Mechelle, passionate foodie, blogger, and entrepreneur, and today I'm your host with special guest Julio Hall, certified nutritionist of Essentially Alkaline.
Hi, what's up?
Everything is good,
right?
How does it feel to be in this chair?
It feels weird to be on this side, I guess, because then again, I'm always interacting with everyone else that is out there, and I guess today's your day.
Yes, it is.
Lay it on me, man. Let me know what's up.
All right, so today's topic is intermittent fasting. Now, I'm keen on this one because I started this 4 weeks ago under the recommendation of one of my uncles who had been doing it for 3 months. He's lost an average of 9 pounds per month. And for me, I didn't really join it as a diet per se. I was actually looking to stabilize my eating patterns. So what I realized is with working at home, there isn't a regular structure of breakfast, lunch break, after you come from work, then you have dinner.
Right.
The days were more or less blurring into each other, and I found that I would be hungry at odd times, eating snacks and other foods. And then likewise, being out on the road running errands, things got really busy. And so I would either forget that I'm hungry, not realize I'm hungry, and it's like, oh, I'm home now, it's 7, 8 o'clock. Now it's time to eat maybe my second meal. Exactly. My second meal for the day, which is definitely a no-no.
No, definitely not. We don't recommend anyone to eat after sunset. Matter of fact, your diet wasn't designed, or your system wasn't designed for you to consume anything after sunset, because that's when a heavy digestion takes place and the body then decides to rest. Right? So, and here's something awkward. While you're sleeping, your digestive system is still in operation. Right? So most persons believe that it's fine to eat and then go and lay down. That's a definite not, because what happens is you end up waking up tired, fatigued, drained, and trying to figure out, why is it I'm still tired if I was just sleeping? That's because mentally you're resting, but physically your body is still in operation, and that's because you ate after sunset. That's the issue that most people have.
Okay, yeah, that actually makes sense. Because you wake up, you're yawning, like you said, you feel a bit of exhaustion. It's like, where did this come from? I thought I got my 9, 7, 8 hours, but it didn't work out that way.
It didn't work out that way, and that's why intermittent fasting makes so much sense, because believe it or not, it's the predominant way of how we should and must be consuming our foods, right? And let's just go from the start. Breakfast is not a traditional idea. Breakfast became a thing when Dr. Kellogg's introduced cornflakes cereal and the cornflakes concept, and the slogan, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. That is not true. We should stop that. It's best to start at brunch, and if you know what intermittent fasting basically does, it gives you a 16 to 8 hour window of how and what you should and should not consume. That's basically it.
Okay, well, hey, I love brunch, so nothing wrong with that.
Which should be the first meal.
Yes. So before we get to our golden nugget of a question, let's start with the basics.
Sure.
So let us know, what is intermittent fasting at a cellular level?
Right.
And how does it affect your health overall?
Okay, well, intermittent fasting on a cellular level, it pretty much is giving the digestive system enough time to rest, which gives cells more energy. And when you have more cells and energy, the body becomes restored. And that's basically what intermittent fasting really does. It takes the breaking down cells and it helps replenish them by giving them the chance to kind of come out the system, which is where digestion takes place. And once it comes out to the system, the body becomes more receptive to pretty much anything, right? So in the aspect of that, it helps to restore the cells, it helps to revitalize the cells, and in that, it also helps to restore energy level, right? So most persons doesn't realize is what you're going to be doing is avoiding foods with between 16 hours and consuming food with an 8-hour period, which is between the noon into the sunset. All right? And what you want to do is consume foods which, well, I wouldn't say food, but mainly liquids.
Okay.
You want to consume mainly liquids, right? The diet itself has a lot of beneficial purposes because it helps to any kind of ailments, whether it's hypertension, diabetes, whether it's cholesterol issues, whether it's imbalanced hormones, whether it's weight loss. Intermittent fasting gives you all of these benefits of one way.
That's amazing. So I like that you've already touched on a few of the methods for intermittent fasting. You know, the three main ones would be alternate days, periodic, and daily time restricted.
That's correct.
Now, based on your opinion, which of these is the wisest choice?
Time is everything. And I said that because that's the one thing human beings cannot get back, and it's the one thing that human beings cannot actually afford. All right? So you want to pay attention to every single thing when it comes to time frame. Now, the different options is by variability. It's what works best for you. And even though there's a systematic method, honestly and truly, I don't think there's a principle behind intermittent fasting. Because everyone could do it, and anyone's system could adjust to it. But during the fast, you also have to do a detox and a cleanse. It's recommended.
Okay.
You don't want to put the body through homeostatic shock and have other issues like breakouts and the system shutting down on you, or your liver shutting down on you. These things do happen. You know, so you have to be very careful on the aspects.
Yes, that's very true. And it's good that you had mentioned that because not a lot of persons kind of take that into account. And one thing you touched on, which would be having to do the cleansing and the detoxing, right? So what people love to do, and I'm sure you've heard this before, they love to mix and match. It's like, hey, if I've already found something that works for me, it's going to help me with weight loss, this seems to be the new trend or something that's recommended, why not let me just add something else, right? So on one hand, you will hear that with intermittent fasting, you can eat whatever you want. Because why? You're going to be fasting later, right? And your body's going to go into a particular stage that's going to help with your weight loss, your metabolism. And additionally, some persons may think this may be a time to do an elimination and reintroduction diet. What are your thoughts on that?
That's actually smart, honestly, because the body is now learning new information and aesthetic to what it's used to doing. And let's just say you're a meat eater and you decide to do a fast. The body cleanse is giving you the option to reintroduce better information into the system, right? And believe it or not, food is information. It's minerals. The body requires minerals and not precisely food. And that's the difference there. So we do recommend that you try to introduce different things into the diet while you're doing intermittent fasting. Right? And I think based on how we look at things today, it will be the wisest choice. Give the body time to rest, detox, cleanse, restore, replenish, reintroduce.
Okay, I like those steps.
Yeah. That's basically how it breaks down when it comes to that particular aspect of it.
Okay, that's a very good point. Everyone take note of that. Now we've gotten to the question that I'm sure you've been expecting. Everyone asks this about anything new that they want to try. How long is it going to take to see results? You know, and it's not just about trying something new and thinking that you want a fast, easy result. What it is time. Like you said,
right.
So valuable, not able to get it back. I've invested time into this particular thing, and I want to know when I'm going to reap the rewards.
To be honest with you, you can see results in a 24 to 36 hour period.
Nice.
So it works pretty quickly. And this is why I recommend having liquids. Spring water, coconut water, herbal teas. These things will be the safer option during this time as it helps detox and replenish the system. We normally go as far as 21 days, and that's kind of a staple. A lot of persons does the 21-day fast because you're not just going to only see results, but you're going to see results with benefits. Right? So let's just say you're a person that's diabetic, Your sugar level was so sky high that you could barely feel your fingernails and your thumbs, always having shocking sensation. On your second or third day of doing intermittent fasting, all of those things starts to deplete. It goes away. So we do recommend that you do anywhere between the first, and that's why I always tell most clients, do the 36-hour period first.
Okay.
Fast 36 hours. Wow. Right? No solid foods, right? No starch, no dairy, no meat.
Okay.
Right? 36 hours. I'm quite sure you can do it. The body was designed to do it. You know, we're frugivores, we're herbivores, and if you have to consume something, consume it in liquid condensed form. Right?
Okay.
The smoothies, the shakes, the herbal teas, the porridge, you know, stuff like that. Your soups without the solids. Those things are perfectly fine to use. But you want to do that after your 36-hour fast.
Okay.
Right? So you do your liquids during the fast, and then you introduce solid liquids, the porridge and the soups and stuff like that. And then you go into more of a fruit and plant-based diet, which is what some persons will call a raw diet or a vegan diet. And I do recommend most persons to do those particular steps before they actually start eating foods again, like solid foods again.
Okay. That's pretty good. And I love the fact that you said smoothies, because I love those. Especially the green giant, you know, the ones that just have like your kale and your spinach, apples, celery. Just put them all in there.
Yep. And that's a good detox as well. Yeah, anything green is perfect for detoxing. You know, it helps to filter the blood system, helps to filter the liver, the pancreatic system, the kidney. And I mean, the body needs these particular organs for filtration. That's how it gets rid of toxins. And if those particular organs aren't working, well, you're out of luck. And that's basically what it is. You are typically out of luck if your liver and your kidney and your pancreas decides to shut down.
Yeah, we definitely don't want that, guys. We really want you to have the best overall health and wellness as possible. So I really like that you listed off a few of the benefits already.
Sure.
Now, mind you, when persons get into fasting, the very first thing they want to do is lose weight. You know, and so keeping in mind with some of the other things that's been cited with intermittent fasting, which would be a sense of clarity, focus, renewed energy, as you had mentioned, so you no longer have the fatigued feeling when you wake up in the morning, or even when you just happen to take a nap and it just doesn't seem to work. You're no longer centered for the rest of the day. Should weight loss really be the key focus benefit, or should it more or less be the combination of all that it provides?
Honestly, it's a combination of all that it does provide. But if you're a person that has a weight loss gain goal, or you're obese, you're having respiratory problems, and doing a fast will help you to lose your weight, especially intermittent fasting, you can lose up to 3 to 4 pounds per day doing this fast. And that's because you're consuming a lot of liquids, which is 70% of what the body's made of. So once you're doing that, you're going to shred weight regardless, and it's going to help to tone and balance the body structure based on your height, your body mass, muscle mass, so on and so forth. Should the goal really be a weight loss? No, I don't think it should be. That's my opinion. I really think it should be more of a health gain driven purpose. You know, the fact that you want to have a more balanced diet, a more structured diet, more functional organs, and I think that should be the main goal. And once you do that as the perspective drive, everything else will kind of fall into place. You know, don't force yourself to go on a fast because you want to lose weight. You know, it's gonna mentally mess with you on a physical level, mental level, and it's gonna still force you to want to consume the foods that you're used to. And that's why keto was such a good idea, because it didn't take away what you love. It added in a balance, which gave people the opportunity to still lose weight while consuming certain foods, high fatty foods, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about: alignment, having your body aligned, all of the different organs, the systems working together. And we really want to be able to help ourselves as naturally as possible to be able to do that. So keeping in mind with everything that we've discussed, what are the long-term implications should someone take on intermittent fasting as a lifestyle, more than just a 21-day, once a month, once every 6 months type of thing?
Indeed, yes. I think we all should fast and meditate at least once or twice a week, preferably between a grand rising and a grand set, which is the rising of the sun and the setting. And I want you to pay attention to how plants actually do this. If you realize at sunset, when the sun goes down, plants, they close, they wither, they don't feed, that's it, it's finished. All right? And a lot of persons don't pay attention to these details. After the sun decides to set, plants decides to rest. Whenever the sun is up, that's when you see the leaves open, that's when they bloom, that's when they blossom. That's how it works, and that's how we should have been doing it. That's how you should meditate and fast, right? So it's the same principle. At grand rising, you get up, no solid foods, no foods at all between, I guess, after 5, you meditate during the time, during the sunrise, and you go into your brunch, which is around 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, which is brunch, you lunch. You have your first meal, and you want to eat between those windows, between the noon and sunset. And after sunset, you can then do another fast, which is basically going to happen because you shouldn't be eating in that 16-hour period after sunset. That's how it should be applied.
Okay, so what would be the long-term health effects if you are to do intermittent fasting as a lifestyle?
As a lifestyle, here's something that's scary and funny at the same time.
Okay.
Every 7 years, we're supposed to have new organs, right? And your spleen and your liver, so on and so forth. But the body requires the right amount of essential minerals and nutrients for that to take place. Because we don't consume foods that are high dense minerals, we tend to have a body that's 35-year-old instead of a body that's 7-year-old or 8-year-old, right? So at 35, we feel 35 because we were eating a lot of foods like high carbs, high starch, high dairy, and the body didn't have enough minerals like iron and magnesium, copper, and so on and so forth, that helps cells to redevelop, right? So you end up feeling older than you're supposed to feel. And intermittent fasting will help to restore these cells on a cellular level, right? So you're old, but after starting the fast and doing it as a cycle of a lifestyle, which means you're not just going to do it because you feel like you should do it to lose weight, or I have diabetes, let me do it fast. I really think the drive should be, I don't want to have diabetes. My lifestyle should, be geared towards always having the fast structured into my time schedule, because I want to live to see 100. I want to live to see 120. That should be the driven goal. And I think once you have that in mind, everything else kind of falls into place. You wouldn't be forced. I wouldn't feel as if you're doing this because you only have a particular goal. The goal should be I want to live longer. I want to feel healthy while I'm alive. I don't want to feel sick while I'm living. Yeah. That should be the goal.
So basically, it's all about, you may feel older by a number, but your body feels renewed, rejuvenated, alive.
You're
present. You're not just existing.
Right.
That's actually a really good point, and that's something that we should all aim for in all aspects of our lives.
That's correct. I totally agree. Yeah.
So Julio, we've appreciated your insight on this with intermittent fasting. I'm sure that this was something that a lot of persons have heard about and didn't quite understand, and perhaps even practicing and not knowing the benefits of what they're doing. They didn't know what to look for. They didn't know the expectations.
That's true.
And I would say perhaps the way that not just their lives, but their bodies can truly change.
Yeah. For a healthier drive or healthier driven purpose, intermittent fasting, and a lot of us, we actually have a meal plan currently that is designed around an alkaline diet with intermittent fasting concept.
Okay.
Right? So basically, it's 2 meals per day, alkaline aspect, and you're only eating between brunch time and sunset. And after that, if you want to snack on some light snacks, you could some plant chips, banana chips, some lime water, if you want to lemon water, which is good for also detoxing and weight loss. These are things that we would tell you to do in the prospect if you want to reverse diabetes or remove cancerous cells or help with tumor conditions, or even if you have a sinus condition, it doesn't really matter what it is, hypertension, cholesterol, let's say you have erectile dysfunctionalities and you don't know what to do about it. Most males don't want to talk about it, they don't know how to go about it. And these different things, just by starting intermittent fasting, all of these things will help to restore and come back to life, making a guy or a female that feels 40 to feel like they're 17, 18 again. And I think that should be the goal. The goal is basically to feel younger while you're still alive.
Yeah, and that's definitely a goal that we should all aim for every day in all of our practices. And it's good to know that this is something that does benefit you overall. So everyone, thank you so much for watching. We appreciated you tuning in and listening. I'm your host, Mchelle Mcdonald of Authentically Mchelle. You can follow me on Instagram at Authentically Mchelle, and also at Amber L Skincare for reviews, recipes, and live videos. And once again, this is my special guest, Julio Hall of Essentially Alkaline, certified nutritionist. Until another time, have a great